folks. Welcome to a special Mayan Apocalypse edition of the Marketing Technology Minute. Chris, we better get through this one because the world's about to end today.
Too true. Spencer, what do you have for us?
Well, last week we were talking about integrated digital marketing, and one of the key components to integrated digital marketing is establishing your brand's online presence or online digital presence.
Sure.
Whatever we want to say, whatever you want to call it. But let's elaborate on that today.
Sure. So the big thing to begin with here, there are really four elements to this.
Yeah.
And the foundational piece is what I like to call VVBGBM. Very long acronym there.
VVBGBM. All right, let's hear what those stand for, Chris.
I thought you might ask that.
I'm interested.
So what it basically means is as a company, you first want to establish a clear understanding of your vision and values as a brand. And those will in turn inform your business goals.
Yep.
And help clarify, as such, your brand message.
Got it. VVBGBM. Vision, values.
Yep. Business goals, brand message.
Brand message. Wonderful.
So once you've kind of established all that, then you want to move on to the physical building process of creating your online presence. And the foundational element there is a website design or redesign.
Of course.
Because obviously, as your online storefront, your virtual place where you hang your shingle,
yep.
This is where the kind of the linchpin of all your efforts. And
exactly.
As a web design and graphic design expert, Spence, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about what goes into a really solid integrated digital website.
Well, a solid integrated digital strategy for web design obviously is user experience is key. A clean, specific site navigation is also a key component.
Yep.
Then you're going to move into mobile optimization. That is huge.
Especially today. Yep.
Especially today, yes. Mobile optimization, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can have a responsive website.
Sure.
Or you can have a mobile optimized site.
Or a mobile app, I suppose.
Mobile app, too, that would work.
So explain to us, what is a responsive site for those who don't know that?
Well, responsive design is creating a website that's triggered depending on what device it's on. So whether you're on a desktop, mobile, tablet, smartphone, whatever it might be, it responses and changes the face of the site. So it's the user experience on it is tailored to that specific device.
Okay, so you're kind of, it's device agnostic. It's optimized over all or most different devices.
Exactly.
And that's great input.
Mm-hmm.
So once you've kind of established your website or set your redesign in motion,
sure,
then you want to be thinking about the next step, which is social media. Setting up your social media platforms. And what I always tell folks is don't go crazy here.
Nope.
You really want to focus on maybe 2 to 4 key social media platforms for your brand that are most relevant for your brand. And how do you define relevance with regard to social media?
Relevance to social media is, I like to look at cohesiveness.
Okay.
To nail down brand integrity. Okay, so you want to look cohesive across all platforms. You started with your website, that's your
sure.
foundation,
yep.
and now you need something to promote not only your website but you and your brand message.
Sure.
So it's cohesive using the same photos and obviously your logo and stuff of that nature. But you don't want to put messaging out here, messaging out there that's all different to try to bring different people in. You want to be cohesive across all platforms.
And what platforms specifically would you recommend for folks? Granted that there are a million different social networks.
Yeah, there's tons. You could be on every single one of them. There's obviously the key ones: Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus is huge right now. If you're not on that, folks, get on Google Plus.
And why is that?
Well, Google Plus is a backdoor to the Google, and Google's #1 search engine.
Okay.
Same with YouTube, second largest search engine.
Right.
So video is huge too, but that's a whole nother topic.
Right, sure, part of the integrated strategy.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is the social search engines are key. But really, you've got Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, it's all about time, bodies, and budget.
Okay.
If you have a huge company, sure, maybe you can be on every single social site there is possible.
Sure.
But not necessarily. If you got a small company, sure, you want to focus on where your target audience is and where they're going to be and what social sites they are.
And I think we both agree what you really want to do is you'd rather be on a couple of social sites really engaging rather than setting up 6 platforms or profiles rather and not doing anything on them.
Exactly. That's what it is. Too many people set up every single and think they need to be on every single social platform but don't do anything with it.
And I hate that more than anything is when you go to a brand's social media site and you can hear the crickets chirping.
For sure. You go to their Pinterest page, they have one board.
Right. Right. So let's not do that, folks.
Yeah.
Let's focus. If it's just Facebook or Twitter, make
That's
it
good, yeah.
Make your little garden grow with all kinds of different flowers.
Definitely.
So finally, then, the thing you want to be thinking about after you've set up your website, your messaging, your website, and your social, is really the integration over web, social, and mobile, the cohesiveness of message, which I think you touched on earlier, which is really focused on asking yourself the simple question: am I siloing these different components of my digital strategy, or are they all telling the same message with the same look and feel?
Yep.
Because they should be, and if they're not, you need to make them be. Because when a user experiences a brand online, they're not necessarily just going to a Facebook and then going and doing something else. They're likely going to be visiting your social media sites, maybe from a mobile device, and ending up in your website or some order of that.
Definitely.
So the key is you want the same colors, feels,
visual look,
perspective.
visual representation, for sure.
Yeah, and then of course the same messaging, the same content. You don't want one content message on Facebook and
that's where people lack
contradicting
too.
a website message.
Yeah, and that's where people lack, is that they, especially when they think they have to be on every single social site, is that they put the messaging out there, but then the ones that they focus on the most is the messaging that's actual true to their brand and their company. And since they're on so many social sites, they then forget about all that other messaging and don't change it, don't optimize it for what they're doing and what's relevant for them right now as a
so
company.
they're really speaking against themselves in a way.
Exactly.
Right. So we'd rather have cohesive brand message on fewer platforms and simpler messaging than a complex, sort of labyrinthine, if I can use that word, messaging that is not cohesive and is even at worst case contradictory.
Which doing the former is going to make you more effective as a company and over time as well.
Sure. So those are really all the elements to a seamless, is setting up your seamless integrated digital marketing online presence, if you can put together all those buzzwords.
String them all together, yeah.
Yeah, why not? Spence, I think that's really about it for us this week.
Sounds good for me.
And I have to say, Spencer, should this be our last Marketing Technology Minute, given the apocalypse and all is nigh, I have really enjoyed spending these few moments every week with you and all these great people.
You as well, Chris. Everybody that's been watching the MTMs and hanging out with us, we thank you. Hopefully you make it. We're hoping the same.
Should we do a high five?
Sure, we can probably do a high five.